Hi, if you're anything like me, you'd like to wear your hair in a nice over-the-shoulder braid, having it cascading down over one side. But the reality is, unless your hair is very, very long or you have extensions, you just can't do this. Now I've noticed that there are some tutorials for a 5-strand braid showing you it over the shoulder, which looks so beautiful. But when you've just got natural hair, medium to long length, you just can't do it. So today I'm going to show you how to create a 5-strand braid on medium-ish, longish natural hair so that it hangs at the back of your head, which looks just as beautiful. This is the end result, a really nice lattice effect hair braid, and as you can see, even though I have quite short layers, none of them are popping out. It can be easily changed into this really intricate looking kind of knotted bun as well. I will show you how I complete this style on my own hair, but first I want to get the technique straight, because it's actually very simple to do once you know how. You need to section your hair into 5 equal sections, or as equal as you possibly can. Then, starting either from the left or the right, take the outmost strand and pass it over the strand next to it, and then under the middle strand. You're going to complete this same action on the other side, so you take the opposite outside strand, move it over the strand next to it and under the middle strand. You complete this movement down the length of the braid and you'll create a 5-strand braid, so over the second strand and under the middle strand. And then the opposite outside edge, over the second strand and under the middle strand. So outside, over, under, opposite outside, over, under. You can see the lattice forming at the top. This is the pattern you will finally achieve if you continue down your braid. Okay, so now you should have the technique and we can put it into practice. I'm going to style my hair with this double banded hairband, so I'm going to pop that over my head first. And then I'm just going to tease just a tiny bit the crown section of my head. And my hair's annoyingly a little bit static this morning, so I'm just using some, what is this? It's my husband's soft moulding wax to just tame that a little bit. Just at the ends that I'm going to be braiding, not near the roots, because that would make it look greasy and that's not going to be nice. So I'm just, it should help with the flyaways, running that through the lengths of my hair. Hopefully it's going to tame the flyaways and sort out the static issue. Okay, so I have brushed the tangles out, put the moulding wax in, and now I'm going to braid. The first round of braiding is the most tricky, so if it seems difficult at first, persevere, because it actually gets easier as the braid continues. So I'm splitting my hair into equal as I can get sections of 5. This is the reason I showed you the technique on the fake hair earlier, because as you're braiding you'll probably see that my hands get quite in the way of what I'm trying to show you, so it was easier to show you the technique on the table. Okay, so I'm passing the outermost right hand strand over the second strand and then under the middle, pulling as tight as I can as I go. I'd like to say there's a magic formula concerning whereabouts your hands need to be and your thumb positions, but there isn't. It's all going to be down to personal taste. and how you decide is most comfortable and how you can best complete the style. You can see the first round of braiding is the most tricky, as I said, but after that the sections separate themselves and you're much more able to find your way through with your fingers. Actually, although it looks tricky, it's far easier to complete behind your head than to the side, surprisingly. But what I want to say to you is do not get put off by this. Remember the technique, think about it as you're doing your braid, and just persevere, because it looks so pretty when you're finished, and it really can be done. If I can do it, you can do it. So please give it a go. Ignore how complicated it looks, because it really isn't. It's outside, over, under, outside, over, under. That's the pattern you need to follow, and if you do that you will end up with a 5-stranded braid. I'm pulling fairly tightly as I go, just to make it easier to form the braid. Once you've put the band in at the end, then you can loosen up the braid for a more romantic feel, but as you're braiding you might want to be pulling it tight. If you have shorter layers in your hair, you might find that you need to stop braiding quite quickly. You're probably not going to reach right to the tips of your hair, but that's due to the width of the braid and how much hair it actually takes up to do it. But it doesn't take a lot of this braid to look beautiful, so don't worry. So when you can go no further with your braid, you just need to band it up with a small elastic band. I'm using a black one. Clear ones are good. I haven't got any clear ones. It doesn't matter. You just need to tie it around the end to secure it off. If you want to loosen your braid to make it more voluminous, you can just pull on the loops, and that's it. I'm just going to pull some pieces out around my face for a softer look, and put on the hairband that I was telling you about earlier. You don't have to accessorise, obviously. You might choose to accessorise with something else. It's totally up to you.